Howdy! How y'all doing out there? You're listening to Fifth Person View. Finally, we got the whole gang here. Matt's been absent for, two now?
Podcasts.
All right, two podcasts now.
I'm going home.
But we are back. Fifth Person View, finally. So, excuse me. We have Skip here. We have Lewis.
What's up, killers?
And we have the proud father.
Banana.
Beautiful baby boy, Chris.
Yeah, my kid is really beautiful compared to all the other fuckers.
Listen. I've seen a lot of ugly kids.
Just thank
Hey,
God.
wait. I was on Walmart today.
Yeah.
I saw like 5 newborns. And they were like fucking ugly.
Yeah.
Like literally ugly. They look like lizards.
Yeah.
No, listen, man.
This kid is beautiful.
This kid is cute,
Yes.
man. You're
Go ahead,
gonna
Louis.
bad
The
cute.
thing you have to notice is that you have to thank God that he didn't come out looking like you, because then he would have been.
Damn.
All things would have been lost.
Wait.
Yeah.
All things. He got your hair.
I'm just going to shut you up right
Just
now.
thank God.
Listen.
But listen, man, Chris.
Just be thankful it's not white.
Your wife was in labor. You said, yeah, that's true, man.
Yeah,
it could have been a lot worse. So
Could have been a lot more. Could have been pretty bad.
yeah, it could have. So Chris, you told us your wife was in labor for what, 2 days?
Like, yeah, almost 2 days.
Almost 2 days.
Almost 2 days.
Give us what happened.
How the experience
the
was.
experience. Put us in the room there with you because we weren't there, obviously.
He took a plunger, stuck this.
No, well,
the nearest shovel.
today's Friday. She started contractions Sunday night, but they were not that bad. And then we went to work Monday, and not as normal, but she still she was in pain. Then Monday night, contraction got worse. I didn't sleep that night. I was awake entire night with her, like doing different positions, so she feel better, comfortable,
Doggy
whatever.
style.
And then
Say that helps, man.
yeah. So by 8:00 Tuesday morning, we went to the house. Birth center.
Okay,
We
that's
were-
right. Because you said your wife. I remember she told me that you're not doing it in the hospital.
No,
you're
we
doing it-
were not doing
Okay,
that. We
all
were
right.
going to that birth center, and we went there, and we spent the doctor there check her out and said, all right, you're going to labor today. You're doing labor right now, but you had to wait. You're just pretty much you just started.
Okay.
So we had to wait the entire day, and when she was ready to push, she was so exhausted. It was like
Did you have to push?
I didn't push.
Push you also said you didn't hold her hand. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, because she
She was
was
holding
like
on.
so mad, and she was like grabbing anything that she could punch her in.
Listen, if I wasn't paying for 2 days, shit, I wouldn't want to hold anyone's hand either. So I just want to get that shit out, get it out of me, and let's move on.
Trying to
So,
tell us
yeah.
something?
pretty much.
So anyway,
stone.
by 4 o'clock,
Yes.
4 o'clock Tuesday, she started pushing. The baby couldn't get out, so the midwife there, the doctor said, "Hey, let's go to the hospital because your water broke like 2 hours ago, and if we don't get this baby out, he's going to suffocate there. Like
Okay.
he's going to run out of oxygen." So we pretty much I blow the car to the hospital. Like I arrived like in 10 minutes from all the way from Wolfendorf.
Wolmersdorf,
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah, like in 10 minutes I was
Listen, that's you have to, man.
Yeah.
Metal.
So
Break the law,
we
man.
arrived we arrived like at 6 o'clock to the hospital, and she gave birth 7 minutes later.
All
Oh,
right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they didn't do
You got
anything.
in.
She pretty much the kid was out when
Yeah.
and we arrived there.
You got through the doors there with scissors and
so
plunger.
yeah, and then we stay 2 nights. That's mandatory by the hospital.
Yeah.
And we're home, pretty much. This baby didn't let us sleep last night. either. So
today was the first day back.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday was the first day back.
Because I remember when I went to visit you, what was that? The first night that you guys had to stay?
Yeah, the first night.
That was
the first night.
Okay.
We left the next day. That was Tuesday. Thursday. And then we arrived and this baby didn't let us sleep at all. Like, I haven't have a nice nap since Saturday.
Listen, if I were you, I would leave this podcast right now and go take a nap.
I can't because if I go home, I will hear him cry or something. I would jump out of the bed and try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, shake it, put new batteries in it. I'll
Yeah.
rewire it for you.
It's not a stick, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, so tell us how you felt once the baby was out and you got to lay your eyes on your kid, man. I mean,
It was amazing. My water fell from my eyes. I was.
Looked at it.
It was beautiful. I was all in the entire process. I caught the umbilical cord.
Okay.
I hold him after my wife hold him for a little while. I hold him. I changed his first diapers.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. It's an experience that you guys should have eventually in your
Listen,
life.
just so you guys know out there, none of us have kids.
No.
I personally don't want any kids. I have 2 cats. That's enough for me.
The kids.
They can take themselves out.
I'm 30. These guys are all younger than me, so
I look older though.
they have a lot more time to have kids.
Yeah.
So hopefully they do. I mean, they have kids.
God help my
We won't
child.
be we won't be seeing them as much as we do now, but hey, that's the life of having a family.
When I went in there to see to visit you and see Derek the baby, I swear to God, this guy's face, he had a smile from ear to ear. I've never seen this guy so happy before.
I've never seen him happy.
Yeah.
When he shook my hand, he was like, yeah.
The only time I've ever seen this guy excited about something is when he made this podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
Hey, he came in, he had like a script written out or some
Yeah.
stupid shit.
He was
this
sending
was the first
messages. We
one.
have a group
We
chat
had Rockman
for texting,
microphones.
and he had messages the whole week. Yo, I'm hype about this,
Yeah.
this podcast.
I didn't even hear about
Yes.
it until Chris said he was
That's
so
the
hyped
first
for
time
it.
that I heard the word hype come out of this man,
So
and it was for a podcast.
Hey, wait,
With
like
one view.
just I think we never done this before
Rock band.
in the previous podcast, but I came from Puerto Rico and I've been doing different type of podcasts. I've been working with gaming community.
Did you always use rock
back
band
then?
microphones?
Back then, no.
God.
listen,
Hey,
So
Skip
that
brings up a point.
Yeah,
all right.
Skippy brought this up, so now we have to point it out.
All right, our first podcast. Okay, our first podcast
I wanted to play rock
was
band.
in the garage. All right, my garage. All right, we've upgraded. Now we are in
Next
the
to the
gaming
garage.
room. Okay, so the first podcast, Chris shows up with his laptop and some Rock Band microphones. So if you guys listen to our first podcast, you can tell the difference between then and now because we had to pass the microphones around. Anyone who wanted to speak had to raise their hands. So it was a shit show.
If
I
you
mean,
haven't
you
listened to it.
had to start somewhere.
Yeah,
I had
Exactly. And the first, you guys were not that really high. About
Exactly.
It.
I
So,
had to stop myself
But
from singing.
Even that was fun.
yeah.
it was. We had a good time, and that's why we are here. Our fifth episode. We have what? Still seven subscribers.
I haven't
seen.
checked.
I can
haven't
check
checked.
right now.
I haven't made any more bots.
All right, so Skip, you got to get on that, man. You need to make this a ton of profiles. Tell
There's
your brother
mad
too,
profiles.
man. Tell your brother to make a profile. And
I've been
just
showing it
subscribe.
to I've been showing it to some of the dudes on one of our new servers.
Really?
Yeah,
So,
I've been indoctrinating them.
Oh,
anyways, this is just a fun thing that we do every Friday, and we enjoy it. So, okay,
We actually downgraded.
Yeah, I knew it. I was just gonna say we probably
we
lost
had
subscribers.
7 views on
I'm-
episode 4, 12 views on episode 3, and we have 5 followers.
all right.
In
so
the first two, we had like 21 views each one.
Let me get my
Okay.
laptop
First
and
two,
just start
alright.
subscribing.
Like Matt left, and it went down the hill.
Damn, man.
Everybody lost man.
You no
I
more.
guess so.
Yeah, I'm boring.
Well,
Back. Come
It's
back.
only our
Chris.
5th episode. We still got a lot of time to
No.
grow and whatnot.
Still, if you haven't heard the first one, listen to it because it is pretty funny. Because you can hear people even whispering like, "Give me the mic, give me the
yeah,
mic, give me the
exactly.
mic."
Yeah.
It's
Give me the
pretty
fucking
funny.
microphone.
So now we have correct microphone. One, that's all we need.
It
Hell
fits
yeah.
inside.
It's good.
And it works pretty well. So anyway, we talked a few podcasts ago about Konami and how much garbage they've been putting out lately since the last Metal Gear game. And they're just been going downhill. So they come out with this new Netflix series, Castlevania. And I gotta tell you, it was 4 episodes, but they were well made. And that last fight scene with Alucard and Trevor was insane. All right, these guys, Lewis and Matt, saw the last episode, well, they saw the whole series before me and Skip did, and Chris too. So
I
of
think I
course,
finished it first.
yeah, of course, Lewis says, "Hey, here comes the best fight scene of the whole series."
I didn't give it.
So
any-
we
I
didn't,
see
you know,
anything
we
else.
weren't, that's the guy at the movie that said, "Watch this part, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Just wait." So we were like, okay, we're just sitting there waiting for this fight scene to happen.
That
It was,
never happened.
listen, it was good. It was a really good fight scene. The whole series
You're
was
welcome.
good. Yes, you're welcome.
Wouldn't have happened without you.
The person who never played a Castlevania game in his life,
Hey
Yeah.
man,
Lewis.
I haven't, but I've seen the games at least.
Well,
I'll
listen,
smack you.
the greatest, because usually with a lot of animated shows or movies, the first thing I like to look at is the visual. That's the first thing that catches me. I don't care. Like, I've never played Castlevania before, just like Lewis. I've never played Castlevania before, so I wasn't like hype really about it. But I saw Chris watching it one time while we were all hanging out one day, and I sat next to him and I was looking at it. I was just like, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it is very well drawn and animated. Oh my god, it's like even the fighting is very smooth.
well, listen. The first episode, if you're gonna draw people into your new show, that was the way to do it.
That
That
was
first
the way to do
episode was so graphic, just a whole bunch of disgusting
All
blood.
It made
Uh,
me so
All
happy.
the
Yeah.
heads at the beginning.
Yeah, it
just
was-
get
yeah.
into the castle.
It was
made
great.
Me so happy.
I wish they would have had more interaction with Dracula's wife and Dracula.
Yeah, they killed her off kind of quick.
But
Yeah.
they killed her off pretty quick. I'm sorry. I should have said spoiler alert. So
Yeah.
She
if
dies
you
in,
haven't
like,
seen
the
the
first
series,
minute.
I suggest you go watch it.
If you
before
haven't
listen
played
to this.
Symphony
Just
of
put
the
it in the title.
Night 20 years ago,
Spoilers ahead.
sorry guys.
Well, listen. All right. So listen. Skip is Castlevania. He knows it back and forth. So Skip, why don't you tell us the backstory about some of these characters that people that are listening to this podcast might not know?
Well, honestly, the first, it's only 4 episodes long, but if you've seen the Netflix series, that's about a good chunk of the backstory that you're gonna get. Trevor, for the longest time, was the oldest Belmont in history. He's the oldest recorded one. And Castlevania 3, the game that this series is based around, doesn't really provide much in backstory. This what they've told us about Sypha and what they've told us about Trevor. That's about all we got up until somewhat recently with some of the newer games. But there's nothing really crazy that they haven't covered in the show.
Okay.
Alucard, his entire backstory that you have to worry about is that his mother... Well, actually, one thing they did differently. In Symphony of the Night, you go into Alucard's nightmare, so to speak, and Alucard was there when his mother was fucking, he came and she was still kind of alive.
Okay.
And she kind of told him, hey, tell fucking, Dracula not to kill everybody.
Yeah.
But, it's Dracula, so he kind of goes apeshit. They don't really explain that. They kind of do a little different take on it. But still, pretty much everything you gotta know. Except they took my man Grant and threw him out the window. That's my man, the hunchback, the wall crawler, the original Spider-Man.
All right. So Skip, why don't you tell the people why the people in the city hate the Belmont so much?
Because the church didn't like them. That's honestly it. The
Okay.
church thought the Belmonts were getting really strong, and if the Belmonts turned on them, it would suck. So the church just kind of flipped them off and kicked them out, which in turn fucking ruined everything.
All right.
Trevor talks about it a couple of times, but he doesn't really like go in depth.
Yeah,
Like,
what
he just
what
says
happened?
he says like the church
Yeah, he says the broad
decided
one.
that we were worthless. Kind of.
Yeah,
That's pretty
but
much
like
what he said.
canonically, what happened in Castlevania is the Belmonts were getting too strong, and the church said, "Nah, we're good. We don't need you if you're gonna get strong enough to, overthrow us at some point."
Yeah, like when I mentioned this one when I came here for the hangout or whatever. I told you that the first 2 episodes I didn't really like it, just cause like it was good. Like
But even the first episode.
no, I liked it. Let me rephrase that. I liked
You
it,
don't like anything.
but like no, I liked like the
was
first
okay.
2 were great. They were good episodes. But like, all right, this is good, but it wasn't like really grasping my attention
Okay.
until we got to the
action.
the second and third one. I mean, the third and fourth one.
All right.
When I actually saw what this guy can do. Like the first 2, he's kind of like strolling around drunk, taking blows.
Yeah, that's
like you
Trevor.
see a little bit of what he can do, but once he gets to that last 2, and he takes like things serious, I was like, this guy's a god. And like especially, I love this moment
Spoiler.
when he's talking to the speakers, and right when he's gonna come out, the speaker's like, "We live to do our best throughout life," and then he just opens the door. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just walks out.
All right.
Yeah, he's
Now-
like, I don't care what you say. I do what I want.
Now you mentioned how like Trevor's a fucking badass, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine a shit ton of other Belmonts all stronger than Trevor was at that point. That's what the Belmont clan was like before the church kicked him out. Imagine that.
All right. So to bring you guys in to what happened in the beginning, why this, what's going on in this town? They killed Dracula's wife because they think she was a witch. Okay, so they burned her at the stake.
She used science.
So Dracula is, pissed off like anyone would be if they killed our wives. So anyway, he gives this town a year to leave, right? That's
Yep.
how it is. Okay, and they say no, it's not gonna happen. He's not gonna do shit.
The priest was like covering up, saying that.
Yeah, the church is.
Yeah, like that's just false. That the power of God is gonna cover us. Yada yada.
Well,
Yeah,
God
well,
ain't done shit.
No. So anyway, Dracula comes back a year later and kills everyone in the town. And that scene is incredible.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really
It really
graphic.
didn't hold anything back.
They give you a kiss.
Demons
No.
holding babies in their
Yeah,
mouths.
so-
People being ripped to shreds.
Nothing makes me happier than just people getting ripped to shreds.
So that's basically how this whole story started. And like I told you, I wish they would have had more backstory with Dracula and his wife. Hopefully, maybe in the next season, they'll do a backstory.
It's
at
already
some point.
confirmed.
All right, so they are doing another season.
8 episodes.
8
this time.
episodes.
8
Okay,
episodes.
so
Nice.
we're moving up. We're getting 4 more episodes in the next season. So Chris, you watched it before anyone. You suggested that we watch it. I was going to watch it, but hey, you know what? It was a good show. What do you?
God, I'm so glad I saw
what do you
it.
think? What was your opinion of it?
It was
Um,
okay.
well, no, I've seen a lot of anime, but I haven't seen too much anime in the past 2 years, I
Okay.
think. If you compare it to other gore type of anime, it's not that wow.
It's not.
It's not that. It doesn't give you that wow factor.
Just don't
If
get
you've
it.
seen other type of anime, that it's more gore than this one.
Okay, yeah.
Parasite.
Parasite,
Bloodseed,
Gans,
Berserk.
those type of anime, I think they have more gore, so it gives you more impact on it. But just to see one of the most iconic franchise being to come back to TV, Netflix, animated, it's just good to watch, and it doesn't matter if it's good or not. You need to watch it because it's just that. It's one of the iconic franchise in history, pretty much.
Were you disappointed there was only 4 episodes?
Yeah,
Or-
I thought it was too short.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but I mean, they don't really know if people are gonna watch this show. So I think the 4 episodes was enough to see if people were interested in it before they go out and make 24 episodes or 13 episodes.
Yeah, pretty much that's what happened. Like it released, people were like all over the place about with the Netflix series first season, and they renewed it like a few hours after. Before the 24-hour period from the release,
Yeah.
they already said, all right, we're renewing 8 more episodes, second season, whatever. It's I think it's just good. But the thing is, hey, don't call it first season. Like, just tell me, all right, the second half is coming next year.
Okay.
So, because if you think about this, all right, the season 4 episodes, you're expecting a good ending for that season, and just a cliffhanger right there, right? And that's why I was expecting at least tell me, all right, next 4 or next 2, the final 2 episodes coming later this year or maybe early next year, and then give me a second season later. So don't shut me out until next year. I'm waiting for 4 more episodes that you don't know if they're going to end in another cliffhanger or not.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, this is based on Castlevania 3, the 3rd game. Are they planning to do 2, 1 prequels?
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to adapt Lower Shadows?
They're probably going to at least finish Castlevania 3. Like, they've got to finish it because they've already started their storyline. They're not going to go back to Castlevania 1 and develop the one character in the game, which is Simon.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably going to stick with this. Simon's not even bad. It's just what happened to him when he became a transgender thing.
What? You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, what?
He has gone through so many identity crises. They started off with brown hair, but then he went to blonde hair, but while still having brown hair at the same time, then he became Scottish and somehow got red hair.
Okay.
He can't make up his mind.
Transgender, what happened?
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on in his head at this point.
All right, so he's just
He's
dyeing his hair, man.
He's whatever he wants to be.
nobody knows, I guess.
He identifies as Dracula.
Not even Skippy. He's one of the. He's a big Castlevania fan, and he doesn't even know.
I don't trust Simon anymore.
Anyway.
One of my other favorite things.
I don't remember. It's one of the Belmonts. Like, Dracula is one of the Belmonts, right?
Shut up. That's Lords of Shadows. Stop talking.
Okay, so just X those games out, both of them.
Don't talk to me ever again.
But in the main, in the main line, right. I don't remember playing those too much, so
Dracula's
I don't remember them. So anyway, Dracula is not a Belmont at all in the mainline story.
No.
All right.
He's just an
So there's no background story where he came from, where he became Dracula.
Not that I remember off the top of my head. To be perfectly
He
honest,
bounced off the
Dracula
window.
as a character, I've never invested myself too much in because he's just a guy I kill at the end of every game.
You ever seen an Interview with the Vampire?
I
think
that.
I did, but that's
Great movie.
A old movie, yeah.
I mean, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but vampires. That movie is incredible. It's really good. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, and who's the girl that played Mary Jane in the first Spider-Man?
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst. I think maybe that might have been her first role. I mean, if you like vampire movies,
I think you're right. Yeah.
that's a good one to start with. Anyway.
Now that you're saying vampires, there's a series. I think it's on FX. The last season is going to be this summer. It's called The Strain. I don't know if you've seen it before, but it's
I've heard of it.
It's like a mix of Resident Evil mixed with vampires, mixed with zombies.
Okay.
And it's all crazy shit, but it's that series is good. And it's like
That's a TV show. I thought that's a TV show. I thought
that's a TV show.
It was a movie series.
No, I think there's a movie, same name, but it doesn't have anything to do.
Gotcha.
But this series is called The Strain. It's 4 seasons, like 10 episodes each season, and it's really short, but it's sweet. Like, you see all this.
I love those shows.
Everyone, all the monsters here are vampires, all right. But instead of biting whatever, they have like their tongue is just like a lizard shit coming out from there, and they
alien.
They're like an alien, and they bite you, suck you, so
they suck you.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then
I can get behind that.
whatever's left, it
That
turns
tongue,
it
though.
turns out you transform in a vampire. But the thing is, you're not conscious of what you're doing. All the vampires are in a hive mind
beehive.
with a main one.
What is this show?
The strain.
The strain.
And there's like a big vampire, and he's called the Master, and he controls everyone with his brain shit.
Because I know there's one show too that's kind of like that. Like they're like hunters. I think it's called Shadow Hunters, and it's off the movie. It's a series off the movie The Immortal Instruments. I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie.
Well, I just know a little bit. The books are good. They did the movie Flunk, and they did a TV series like a kind of reboot, and it sucks also.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it, and they're about to cancel that shit.
There you
That's
go.
there you go. This one that I'm talking about is 4 seasons. The last season is right now. And it ends in September, and that's it. They're going to do the end of this series.
Okay, well, all right. We're gonna move on. Lewis, tell us what your experience with this TV show. I mean, you don't know anything about Castlevania.
No. Well, I do.
You told us you
I've
didn't
seen
like
little-
the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I liked them, but it didn't really get me hooked on the series until the lights through.
Okay, all
Like
right.
those two, like all right, I want to see the next.
All right, so
you know what I mean?
now you're gonna watch the next season.
Yeah, obvious.
Okay, and after watching this, do you have any interest in playing the games?
Probably not.
No,
I probably won't
not,
go
yeah.
unless like you have them here one day. Like
Yeah.
if they bring them to Switch or something, and you
Okay.
pick them up, I might play them or watch you play them. Wait, Skippy, which one is the one? I know there's one of the Castlevania games that you go all the way to the end, beat the game, and then you have to beat it again.
That'd be Symphony of the Night. What happens is when you're first playing through the
I
game.
know about that.
There's like when you're playing through the game, you gotta get like a secret item, and when you're fighting the quote unquote final boss, you'll see like an orb above his head. When you have the secret item, you break that, and then another
Spoiler
castle
alert.
just comes out of the ground next door, pretty much. Just kind of
Yeah,
flips the
I
castle.
know about
upside
that,
down.
and
That
I've seen
game is
parts
so
of it.
old
I
that
know.
you don't have to say spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
well.
Game
Like,
was made in 1997.
Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna see the next season. My favorite scene was like favorite
Spoilers.
after everything is just the what? Is that okay?
No.
Oh, okay, I'll just say it if you want to save it for later.
No, I'm just saying,
Alright,
like, I said spoilers at the beginning, so
Yeah.
if you're still with us,
No,
and you're saying,
I'm just
fuck
saying
these
it.
guys, man, they didn't tell us spoiler alert, then, whatever.
I'm just saying it just in case,
No.
in case anybody wants to mute real quick for a few 30 seconds.
Nah,
maybe.
fuck it. If you,
Care
yeah,
about
listen,
spoilers, leave.
if you don't like spoilers, then you shouldn't be listening to this. Yeah, we love you, but hey, this is gonna have spoilers, so whatever. Go ahead,
But,
man.
favorite
Or
scene
Louis, sorry.
above like the whole season was when on the final scene with what was his name again?
Trevor?
No, Alucard. Is it?
Alucard.
Yeah, with Alucard.
Dracula backwards.
That moment. Oh, look at that.
For
Was it-
real?
was it-
You didn't notice?
For real?
No, I didn't think about that.
Alright, go ahead.
Like that's just the name. I didn't look. All right, let me put this name backwards.
Nah, what the original inspiration for that was from the Bram Stoker films, like the adaptations in the novel or whatever. I don't quite recall. I'm fucking all kinds of backwards.
Nosferatu?
No, it wasn't Nosferatu.
Oh,
It was
okay.
called Dracula, and a very specific instance. It's like a sequel or something, and they're trying to figure out like who's this guy related to and stuff like that from the first movie. They look at his name. His name's Alucard. And they spell it backwards. It's Dracula or some shit. I don't remember. It's been a long ass time.
So
They-
that's a twist.
Ta-da!
The irony. But like I was saying, favorite scene, they were fighting, and that moment that he has the whip already out, and then he just puts his hand and he makes it
Crack toward him again.
yeah, do like a 90-degree angle and hit him. Like that moment was like, all right, this guy is a god. Like just like at that moment, he just saw that all right, this guy's gonna dodge. That just blew my mind. Like
All right,
how
ju-
he looks like an idiot, but like when you see him fight, you
He's
understand how smart he
incredibly
really is.
skilled.
All right, so you're so impressed with him, right? So you remember the first episode when Alucard fought Dracula.
Well, which they didn't show.
They didn't show,
Right.
But they tell you.
They did.
They
fight.
show you the scar.
They
that he got
tell
from-
you
Alucard. Gave,
Alucard was down there healing because
Alucard fucking.
Dracula kicked his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alucard.
they say-
So Dracula is really
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
strong.
We
Right.
saw
Really
in that
fucking
fight,
strong.
Alucard could have easily killed both of them.
Yes.
He was just, seeing
He's
if they were
testing
worth
them.
their
Testing
shit.
them, yeah.
And Dracula put that motherfucker in a coffin.
Yep.
Dracula's a mean motherfucker.
Yeah.
He became fire.
He
Literally.
became fire. He summoned like the hell.
Yeah, like, the fuck you gonna do about that? Whip it?
a kiss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God.
All right, Lewis. There's a scene
Yeah.
in a church where this demon
About to
is
make
talking
out.
to this priest.
The
and,
priest that caused the whole reason.
It's
Like
all that guy's
he
fault.
was the reason
He was-
Dracula's wife was killed.
He was the one who set up the
Burned to
execution.
death at the stake.
Well, listen. The speakers are the ones trying to help this town,
Right.
and the priest doesn't want them their help at all.
No.
Just wants them out of the town.
Yep. He
And
sent people to go kill him.
exactly. He sent people to go kill these people.
These people to kill these people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the people to kill the people.
They are people technically.
Yeah, they are. So
Peoples.
the speakers are trying to survive these attacks from these what are they, monks?
Demons.
Yeah, basically.
Demons.
Priests.
All right, like
they are
priests.
other priests.
Okay, all right. So there is a scene in the church where the demon, I get he's a talking demon. He's the
Oh,
only one
let
that
me
is
kiss you.
talking.
I think he's like
Yeah.
the general of the demons. Like, like we got Dracula as the boss.
He
That's
was
like a
some sort
general
of, like,
because he was
evolved
different. He
version.
was
Yeah.
blue.
And
He
he
was
speak,
advanced.
and he was speaking also.
It don't matter. 'Cause
I think it was like
it doesn't matter because he gets fucked
Yeah,
up.
he gets killed.
He gets fucked
Like,
up real quick.
his
Good old
face
vampire
gets chopped in
killer.
half by
Trevor.
Trevor's whip. And but anyways, the
There's
scene in the
a long
church.
story behind that whip.
Yeah. Well, you brought it up, so you might as well just
That fucking
tell us about it.
good old vampire killer. The only thing that keeps stopping Dracula time and time again, except for a couple specific cases, fucking vampire killer.
Is that the name of the
That's
whip?
the name of the whip.
He named the whip Vampire Killer.
He didn't name it. I forget the dude's name. It's been a long ass time. The guy who originally made the whip. This was back when the oldest the oldest Belmont that's they actually ever talk about that was in a game was in a PlayStation 2 game. I don't recall the name of the game or the dude's name because I could not give a flying rat's ass about him. But this is the original. This is when we first get Vampire Killer. Vampire Killer gets blessed to hurt Dracula. So what happened? We're gonna call our main character Belmont. I don't remember his name. I think it's Leon or some shit. And his name wasn't even Belmont yet. I don't quite recall. It's been a long time. Anyway, the dude's fucking fiance gets kidnapped by Dracula, and he's like, "Shit, I gotta go get her."
Was it Curse of Darkness?
Maybe.
Okay.
Do you have a picture of the dude? I can tell you.
Oh,
Let me see the cover.
There's a picture of a cover.
Eli has pulled up a picture. Of
Yeah,
the
I'm
cover of
pulling
the
up a
game
picture
on
to
his
see
phone.
if this is the game.
I don't know.
But anyways, continue your story.
Dude's fucking fiance gets kidnapped by Dracula. I'm gonna remove a lot of shit that won't matter to this story. Dude goes to get her back, fights his way through the castle with his whatever arsenal he has available. He has the whip from the dude. When he first gets there, he meets this dude who lives in a shack pretty much, and he gives him a whip because it's enchanted. He can kill demons with it or whatever.
Okay.
They explode.
He fights his way through the castle and eventually comes face to face with the Mr. Vampire Man. Goes to whip him, nothing fucking happens. The dude just laughs it off. So this is shit. Well, at that point, he gave his fiancée back to him, the whole reason he came there. So he goes back out to the shack, and it turns out his fiancée was bit, so she's a vampire now. And what they end up doing is the dude in the shack is some wizard or whatever. So they have the Belmont man kill his fiancée, and there's some weird curse where her soul is trapped in Vampire Killer, which gives it the power to kill vampires because she was a vampire.
That's nuts. So technically, he uses his wife to kill
Yes.
Dracula.
He
The
he
soul of his
sacrifices his own wife.
To be
Pretty
able
much.
to kill other vampires.
That's
And that
weird.
whip persisted from whatever time that takes place
He could have just turned himself into a vampire.
up to present day.
You see now, this is why I say when they're making this series, if these 4 episodes, which were really well done, well made, right? But someone like Lewis, who's never played a Castle, well, actually Matt's never played one either, and doesn't know the backstory. They should make a season where they go back and tell you where this weapon came from, how the relationship was with Dracula and his wife, how Dracula became such a powerful vampire.
Or they can do flashbacks. I'm okay with 10-second 10-minute flashbacks.
You're talking flashbacks. I don't want to hear every season of Arrow has flashbacks. I don't
I was
want that.
just about to talk
All right,
about that.
that is the shittiest.
That is so annoying.
It is so annoying. Okay.
Every other scene, we're going back to whatever the island is, or we're in Russia now, or we're going to Italia. Like every single other scene, I don't want to see this.
But if they made 8 episodes of the new season, give me one then. The entire flashback of the background of Dracula, the whip, all this shit. And
I can get behind that. I can get behind that, but no, not like an Arrow thing where they're fuck. Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Annoying.
Actually, there's a show, right? That Skippy knows about it. Ruby, that a company called Rooster Teeth makes. It's another animated show. They do something like that. Like their story building it's very simple and it's very well done.
I skipped them all.
Where you did? No, I actually watched them because they're quick. They're
Skipped
like
them.
3 minutes
No fucks
at
given.
most, right?
3 minutes of
And
my time.
they just build in the stuff that you're wondering about, like the background stuff about the world in this show, and it'll have a character in the show talking about it, so it's a familiar voice that you're hearing, talking about everything that's going, talking about all the things that have led up to what is going on. Then, that's really the only show that I could think of that even does that.
The only show I've seen from those guys is Red vs. Blue.
Red vs. Blue.
Yeah, that's the only thing I care about.
But yeah, with Ruby, they do just a quick 3-minute thing like that in between like 3 episodes, which is pretty cool because it answers a lot of questions. Not saying that Konami has to do that with this, but I feel like having that one episode where you're in the present and the 2 characters are talking, maybe Alucard and Trevor, to talk about what happened before that fight or during that fight, and it goes into that flashback for that episode. That's fine. But no, that whole thing where if it's a flashback every next scene, I'll drop that. I'll drop that show so quick.
All right, so the idea of next season being the last of the Castlevania 3 story, do you think the 3rd season should go to the 4 game?
What it should do is if they're gonna go off of Castlevania 3. They should figure out like Symphony of the Night, because that would just be it would make sense. You already know Alucard, and there's an instance in the game where Alucard fights like not exactly like the resurrections of them, but kind of like an after image, so to speak, like a copycat of Trevor, of Sypha, and my man Spider-Man Grant.
So you're saying skip the 4th one?
Castlevania 4 is a remake of Castlevania 1.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There you go. Now you know the story for the first one.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But they should do it then, because if it's a remake, that will help people understand what's the background and everything.
Yeah. You want to know Castlevania 1 story? I can tell you in like one whole sentence.
I just want to see it. I don't want to hear it.
Because we're talking about a TV show here. The whole story is there's a castle, Dracula's in there. Belmont's kill Dracula's. Story go.
Oh my god.
Story go.
You're welcome.
Well, the writer of this series is Warren Ellis. And I'm reading
What else has he made?
I'm reading some stuff on
he works for
some
Pornhub,
backstory.
Booty Bitches 3.
He actually wrote the first Dead Space game.
Oh, for real?
For real?
Yeah. And he did a bunch of comics.
That's another
For
thing
people
they
that
should
don't know
do.
Dead Space, me and Eli, I don't know if anybody else has, but me and Eli played that, and the first Dead Space is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, and it was I believe this is the first game that there was no pause menu when you had to change your weapons, so you had to constantly be moving and change your weapons at the same time, because if you paused when you were getting chased by something,
Yeah, the quick swap.
Yeah, so the game was terrifying.
Oh my god, it's so freaking scary.
I was able to get through it. I'm not a big fan of
horror games
because they scare the shit out of me.
I think that's the first game they capitalize on sci-fi horror in games.
Yeah.
In general.
Oh,
like,
in general.
In general, I think that's the best
sci-fi
horror game.
Yeah. Unless
they made, like, in general.
You know, besides one of the 50 Alien vs Predator games.
No, that
doesn't
even matter.
Those don't count.
Yeah, those don't count. Those don't. But you're right, because Dead Space, it takes that whole aspect that because you're in space, there's nothing out there that's going to help you. Everything is your enemy.
Yeah.
That game is so good.
The only other game I know it's really good in the horror aspect is Evil Within.
Yeah.
That game is...
A lot of people didn't like that game.
Because it was difficult.
It was a really hard game. It was one of those games where you had to use your ammunition wisely because there wasn't a lot of
Resources were very scarce.
Yes. And some of the boss fights were incredibly hard. But I enjoyed it. I'm pretty excited for the next one.
Yeah.
I think.
But I don't know what you're talking about. You haven't played Resident Evil 7 yet.
No, but that's a first person.
And,
it's a first person bad game.
Yeah.
Basically,
Floor,
Chris.
Killing Floor. I couldn't get into that either.
That's not even a horror game.
It doesn't matter. First person, I'm not good at. I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online in third person. So Killing Floor. These guys were trying to get me to play all night. I'm tired of shit. We were all up till 7 a.m. Playing video games. Evo weekend. Woo! So my girl's out of town. She has a softball tournament. So these guys have been staying at my house since Thursday night. And we've had a lot of fun, guys. I mean, I've had a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
We should be at Evo. But
what? Who? Me? Nah.
All of us. Well, Matt not, because, his girl won't let him go.
Yeah.
But he's playing Elder Scrolls Online now.
Fuck you,
yeah. I was surprised. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I turned on the PS4. I saw him playing Elder Scrolls.
Oh my god, this game is so much
maybe he's
fun,
playing someone else's games on his account.
No, it's a fun game, man. It's really fun.
The game is mad fun. Oh my really god.
Fun. And Chris, man,
he's going to lose his
Chris, it's your turn.
The thing is, now you have a kid, man. When are you gonna find time to play video games with us, man? Or find time to play video games, period?
I don't know.
I saw you on today.
I was playing Crash today.
You like it?
Yeah,
he was playing in his car while he went to go get some Burger King.
Are you serious?
No.
He was doing remote play from his car.
Skip sent me a message. Oh, go change a diaper. I literally changed the diaper before he sent me the message. I sit down on the couch and the baby was sleeping on my chest. Literally, he was sleeping there on top of me while I was playing Crash. And we were there for 2 straight hours. He was sleeping 2 straight hours. I was playing Crash. That's how I'm going to play.
Crash is his safe zone.
You're gonna learn to juggle real quick, huh?
Yeah, it was like Louis said. It's a safe game to play while you're holding the baby, you can say, because you don't have to move around, think a lot, blah blah blah.
Yeah, don't even try playing Dark Souls 3 with the baby on your. Because if I would have had a baby
I'm done
on
with
my
Dark
chest,
Souls.
and I was playing Dark Souls 3, the baby would be flying off of me of how pissed I get at that game, man.
I know you want to say a more in-depth thing, but he's a new dad. So but
anyway, you got to play today. The kid is what 2 days? 2 days old.
I think.
So you lucked out, man.
I think he's already 3 days.
3 days.
old, yeah.
3 days old.
Damn.
They grow up quick.
Get a
Yeah.
job.
Pretty soon
Get a
he'll be in
job.
high school, and then he'll be.
Don't talk about going to college yet.
Yeah, so.
I'm going to send him to Puerto Rico to get a degree.
Yeah,
It's
well,
cheaper there.
Yeah, shit.
I don't have to pay anything. The government pays for everything.
There you go.
Yeah. So going back to the topic, I will find a way to play games. Probably I won't have time to play all of the brand new games or being up to date like I was. But yeah, I think in my queue right now, my next game is Horizon.
Well, I just hope that we can have you here. You know.
I already talked to my wife and she said, "All right, go and do the podcast."
No, she wants to do the podcast.
I just hope we can have you sometimes, not just for the podcast. That we can have you here
That's all Chris cares
playing
about.
video games with you. Because we all have fun.
I know.
Hell yeah, get ESO, man.
Listen,
I
don't
just
even
bought
care
it. It's
anymore.
worth it.
No,
It's
no,
so much fun.
I'm playing the shit out of that game, man.
Played too much.
There's a lot of other games that have my attention right now. Like I said, Horizon is one. I had that game. I want to play it. I know it's really awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't played Breath of the Wild yet. I
Okay.
haven't. I have it for Wii U because there's no Switch available
yeah.
anywhere.
Oh
But
my god. I
yeah,
can't believe that stuff.
yeah. So I have a lot of games, open world games. So I'm with the baby now.
Like
Probably
Andromeda,
those
yeah.
two, just those two, would last me for a while.
Listen, me and my girlfriend finally finished Zelda. And that game has so much content, and it is in my opinion the best Zelda game they've ever made. I'm a big fan of open world games that allow you to do stuff with cooking, with changing your armor and all that.
Cookie
And-
Mama's there.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
So this game
crossovers.
is really good, really well made, and I hope they continue to make all the rest of the Zeldas the same way, because I couldn't see them going back to the way it was before, and I hope they don't. These guys haven't played it yet.
We're looking at you, Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
The next game I'm kind of hype. Probably you guys are more hype for Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm more hype. I'm not like a fighting game guy. More like a shooter.
Yeah.
So Destiny is the one I'm waiting
Destiny
for.
2?
It's coming pretty much
2 days the beta.
like 1 week before Marvel. So pretty much that's the only other game I'm waiting for until.
Did you get the beta?
Yeah, I had the code. I didn't know.
Did you install it yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just waiting until it's open. Louis just told me it was going to open next Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Tuesday?
Yep.
Oh shoot, my bad. I thought it was 2 more days.
After the early access, it's open beta for everyone.
Nope.
The asses.
Yeah. Early
Early
access.
access.
is on
Access.
Tuesday.
Oh, God, dude, the asses, man.
It's 3 days early
Skip
access.
is the only one that's
Eli
right
got
now.
really interested in Destiny after hearing that. It was like,
It's 3 days early access for us that pre-ordered it, and then everybody else joins in after
I'm
that.
not
Yeah.
really interested in that.
Still don't care.
Anyway,
Yeah. So
Skip,
you could put in third person.
you're a big Castlevania fan, man. What did you think of the series? I know you didn't really have high hopes for it going into it.
I'm happy it existed.
Oh, okay.
Shut
But
up.
all right. So, what did you think, man? Well,
The first episode, like from the get go, where I saw her walking up the stairs. I saw her knock on the door. I knew who the fuck it was from the get go. I knew where this was going. I could just smell it.
yeah.
So going through, like, I just knew. You couldn't stop me. What is this?
10 minutes. That's it.
That was like some spiritual shit. Chris just holds up his hands.
sometimes you just gotta praise, man.
Yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes.
Spiritual. Anyway, I thought it was awesome. It kind of holds true to most of what goes on. The only thing that irritated me was like when there was one specific instance, Sypha like pronounced her name like Saiha or some shit like that. I was like, what the fuck are you saying?
All right.
I can't understand you. But other than that, it was like perfect. It was awesome. It was incredible. I just want Grant. I want Spider-Man.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I mean,
Webman.
Hey, Skip, you've been holding this entire podcast.
What are you
The
talking
box
about?
of Fire Emblem Echoes.
I don't know.
Just tell me what's about that game. Like,
This is
why
the
you
box.
bought that game twice?
Because I bought it twice.
well, he Skip, you bought it. You bought just the game itself because they didn't have the collector's edition.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you saw that Amazon had the collector's edition, and then you bought that also.
I almost bought 2 of them.
Okay, you have all the Fire Emblem collector's edition, or
All the ones I was able to get.
okay,
Because I'm a very lucky person when it comes to these things. So it always comes when I don't have money.
all
And then
right,
by the time I have money, they're sold out.
yeah,
Fortunately, when Fire Emblem Fates came out, it was around the time I got my tax return, so I had extra money. So I was able to get the collector's edition for that and all that good stuff. Got my 3DS and everything, super spicy.
yeah.
And I got, like, most of the Fire Emblem games, like, copies of them at least. But
Well,
I'm a
sure,
freak.
you got your copy of the collector's edition with the
My
art,
box.
the box,
My
and
box.
the.
Which is cool. I checked out the art. I really like that. That's pretty
It's
nice.
pretty cute.
How's the soundtrack, man? How's
I haven't listened to the soundtrack.
well, the game.
The game's music itself, they take the original tracks from the NES and redo them with,
Okay.
like, you know, instrumental and stuff like that. It's fucking awesome.
All right, because I'm a big fan. Listen, there was a sale on PlayStation Network, and I bought a whole bunch of games just because the trailer had a really good song to it.
Rogue
So,
Galaxy.
Rogue Galaxy, and what's the other one?
It's like Dark Shadows or some stupid
yeah,
shit.
something like that.
Dark Cloud.
Dark-
Dark
Cloud, too.
Cloud. There we go. So hey, if
Clouds in that
you
game?
want me to buy a
You
game,
want me to just play the
have
Fire
a hell of a
Emblem
soundtrack, and I'm gonna buy it.
When I play the soundtrack, I got it in the box.
We might have to listen to that later on because
Play while we play.
yeah, we might have to.
Yeah.
Oh, it is now 10:14. Tired of shit.
Damn, yeah, you're not gonna
No,
ask me, man. That's
Banana
messed up.
Bill.
you didn't put your 2 cents into this.
It's messed up. You go to him.
I'm sorry, man. All right, let's go to Matt.
Well, we actually
I
come
actually
to the
forgot he
podcast.
was here. You know, he's never here for the fucking podcast.
Yeah,
so
I know.
anyway,
Yeah, I missed that
Matt,
too.
I'm sorry, man. What was your thought? What are your thoughts about this TV series?
Okay,
on
first
Netflix?
off, never played any of the games, so I didn't know what to expect. First 2 were great story building episodes. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The fight scenes in the 3rd and 4th one were really cool. My attention was grabbed quick.
From the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning. Also,
Like you said before, you were just watching Chris.
Yeah, I was
on
just
his-
watching Chris, and then it caught my eye, so
Okay.
I thought it was cool. Found out later that the voice actor for Trevor Belmont
Uh-huh.
is Richard Armitage, who played Thorin in The Hobbit. He's he was the main dwarf in the Hobbit that was trying to get to his family's treasure.
Okay.
Love that movie, and I love that actor. He's
All right.
great.
Okay.
So when I found out that he was the voice actor, I don't know, it's just a little cool thing to find out that, you know, a really good actor is also really good at voice acting.
yeah.
That was another thing that I thought was really good. Voice acting was great. Whoever they chose for Alucard, I swear I know him, but I just don't. It's so hard to put a name to the voice, but no, overall, it was really good, and I cannot wait for the second season. 8 episodes. It's great. You know, doubling the amount from the first episode. It's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait.
Yeah. I just finished watching a show called Between. Oh my god.
I told you, don't see that shit.
It was so hard to get through. The story was actually pretty good. The actors were trash.
So, like, the concept of everything was good.
Yeah. The best actor, in my opinion, which that's not saying much, was killed off in the first season. And then pretty much they just started killing off a bunch of the characters in that show. And when it finally ended, I actually was looking forward to the 3rd season, which I hope they make.
They're doing it.
They are doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And it's called Between?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
It sucks. Just
yeah. I
ignore
mean,
it.
So don't check it out.
Listen.
No, don't check it out.
listen. I'm not gonna say don't check it out. Give it a try. Okay. like I said, the actors, it's gonna be hard, man. But the story's kind of good, man. I mean, just try to get through the first season, and then maybe you might be able to watch the second season.
Maybe.
We'll see. But
I don't know. By the way it's sounding, I don't know.
but anyway,
One that you need to see is Glow.
Glow.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's Glorious Woman of Wrestling.
I
It's like
know.
a 80s show. It's a bunch of women, like wannabe women that want to.
Women's.
It's that want to get nice jobs. Pretty much all of them they're trying acting careers, but back then in the 80s, like no one cared. They're not good salaries for them, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then this agency calls all of them and say, "Hey, this producer is making a show, blah 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 blah," and they all go for the casting. And then this guy, like ugly little guy, drunk, he's high as fuck. Like he was doing coke before he did the casting, and he said, "All right, go in the ring. Let me see what you got." And and nobody know what the fuck they were doing. And then the main person, the main character, she is so onto
Wrestling?
No, into, oh my god,
Pornography.
acting.
Yeah.
So that's the word.
Eating
So
ass.
yeah, she was so into acting and she didn't know anything about wrestling. And the guy knew that
She
the
just
director
wants to get
knew,
twisted.
and he kicked her out. Then the next that same night, she goes to the TV and see WWE back then, like the first or two WrestleMania, wherever. See Hulk Hogan and tries to mimic her, and then she goes back to the ring for the casting, and she's goes there and tries to do some crazy shit.
Breaks her neck
Nothing
and
happens.
dies.
The director is not impressed. Then her best friend barged in and started fighting her because she slept with her husband.
That's how you do
And
it.
the guy just picture mine the entire thing, like with wrestling clothes and wrestling intros and all this stuff, and it's just like a mind fuck. But it's just good to watch.
Oh, we might have to check it out.
Yeah, it's funny. The only bad thing is just you can see it's like a 80s filter on the camera,
Okay.
and it's
yeah,
like
it's got that, like,
maybe
sepia.
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put the
It's not that
filter over the lens,
attractive.
it's a 8-0.
It's not that attractive when you see it at first, but the show is pretty good.
Oh,
Pretty
you
good.
got- you guys
And
are
there's
playing-
a lot of cameos from real wrestlers, WWE wrestlers.
Yeah, brother.
Alright.
Like the first episode, Johnny Mundo or whatever it's was
Telemundo.
Ah, man,
Johnny
I don't know.
Mundo,
I
I
have
mean-
no idea, man.
John Morrison.
Got you.
He was whatever. He was on WWE. He retired. I think he got kicked out, and then he go to
Listen,
whatever.
If Angie was here, she'd know a lot more about that than we would.
I told you, like, if you sit down with her, like, she will give you the background, all that crap.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a show that we're probably gonna watch. She's a big wrestling fan. I'm a okay wrestling fan. So over there, that's a series that we might want to check out soon. We barely have time to watch shows, but when we do, we've been watching Ours Is the New Black. That's another good show on Netflix. All right, guys, like if there was another IP that Konami could make into an anime, what would you like to see?
Any game
Any
Konami?
all right. I think there's been other games made into anime, haven't there?
I think
Persona.
I think Bomberman. No, Persona is not there. There's Persona is Atlas, and that's owned by.
Yeah, it's he just.
But I'm
asked
just
if
saying,
there were
like,
any
any-
games.
Any game
turn
doesn't
into-
mean
yeah, yeah.
it doesn't
Well,
have to
alright.
do Konami.
Well, let's say Konami, because I was
Okay.
talking about them making a Metal Gear. I mean,
Metal Gear
listen,
anime would be legit.
Konami this is the way they're gonna have to go, man. If they want to get fans back into their games, man, they're gonna have to do something, because the shit that they're coming out at now is just not. It's not working, man. It's not.
All right.
What was the most recent
Right, I think they did a Bomberman,
Bomberman?
Animated thing a few years back. It didn't work out. They did the Castlevania right now.
Which is great.
With the main problem with Metal Gear is they own the IP. All right, that's perfect, and they know that they own the rights. But the thing is, the entire franchise was done by one guy, Hideo Kojima, and they don't. I think they don't own his likeness on the characters and all this stuff. So that's why they're doing Survival. Because Survival doesn't have... It's on the same universe, same franchise, whatever, but it doesn't have the main characters. I think that's the main problem with the Metal Gear right now. And the main legal dispute.
I think they own everything, man, because he couldn't use a Fox engine anymore. He had to go to Guerrilla Games and use their engine for his next game. So, I mean...
How would I say? They own everything, all right. But the thing is, he created everything. And pretty much without him, they don't have a franchise. So they know if they give it to someone, they will fuck it over.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
and
not gonna be the same vision.
they either reboot the entire thing, or they just do a lot of spin-off like they were doing the past years. Like they did
do a backstory about
a new, totally new character.
Yeah. Have some from somebody else's point of view.
That's the only thing they can do, because they're not risking it to use Solid Snake or Liquid Snake or whoever's left. Anyway, pretty much they kill all the main characters on the 4th one.
Alright, well. Alright, Lewis looks bored as shit, man. What do you want to say? What why you look so bored, man? Why you not interested in anything we have to say?
He just wants to talk about
he
Dragon
just looks
Ball.
like he's gonna fall
Nah,
asleep.
I'm not gonna talk about Dragon
It's
Ball.
because he just got hyped watching a freaking Dragon Ball Fighters video with Maximilian
This is
dude,
what
and now
Lewis does, man. We have this podcast and he's on his phone the whole time.
I'm really doing it now. And plus, I was waiting for my time to talk.
Alright, go ahead, man.
Well, I want to see as a TV
We're out of
series.
time, guys. We'll join you next week. We are Fifth Person View. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week. Hopefully with all of us here. Thanks again. Bye.